The next center we'll talk about is the circumcenter. The circumcenter is created by the perpendicular bisectors of the sides. You can see one down here. It's forming a right angle with the side, and it's splitting the side perfectly in half. Over here, right angle and splitting that side perfectly in half. And here, right angle there in the middle and splitting the side perfectly in half. It meets the circumcenter. The circumcenter is the center of the circle that goes through all three corners of the triangle. Since it goes through all three corners, that means that the radius to each corner is the same. So if I were to have, there's a radius, and then there's a radius, and then there's a radius, and that length, and that length would all be the same. So the circumcenter, the center of a circumscribed circle. Circumscribed means it goes around the outside of something. You've heard of circumnavigating the globe. That means someone went around the outside of the earth. Or the circumference is the distance around the outside of a circle. And so the circumscribed means to go around the outside of something. The circumcenter is the center of that circumscribed circle. Okay, it's the only circle that goes through all three vertices. It's the same distance away from all three corners of the circle. What's different about the circumcenter from the incenter is that it could be inside, outside, or on the side of the triangle. So a similar picture here on Geometer Sketchpad. This point here in the middle, the circumcenter, that's the point that is the same distance away from all three corners. You find the circumcenter by drawing in all of your perpendicular bisectors. Again, splits the side perfectly in half and forms a right angle. They all meet at the circumcenter. So perpendicular bisectors create the circumcenter. Circumcenter is the same distance away from the three corners of the triangle, the three vertices. You can see it measured there, and I'll spin it. And as I spin it, you'll notice something, like we just saw it there. Or right there, the circumcenter is not always inside the circle. Sometimes the circumcenter is on the outside. If the triangle is obtuse, the circumcenter will be on the outside of the triangle. If the triangle is a right triangle, the circumcenter could be right there on the hypotenuse. If it's an isosceles triangle, or just if it's an acute triangle, it will be on the inside. So depending on the type of triangle you have, the circumcenter will not always be inside the triangle. But still, it is the center of the circle that passes through all three of the corners of the triangle. So sometimes that center is really far away from the triangle. If it's a really super obtuse triangle, that center gets really far away. Or if it's an acute triangle, that center is somewhere inside the triangle. That's the circumcenter. Perpendicular bisectors create the circumcenter. The circumcenter is the same distance away from all three corners of the triangle, and it is the center of the circumscribed circle, which is the circle that passes through all three vertices.